Today we are going to study segmentation part. Segmentation is a part of three main strategy of marketing: segmentation, targeting, and positioning. So today we are going to see segmentation out of STP part. Now segmentation. Companies cannot connect with all customers in large, broad, or diverse markets. Take an example of India is a very large market. India is very broad market. India is very diverse market. Large market in the sense we have 140 crore population. Broad market is geography of India is very large, and the diversity is India has more than 30 different states and various thousands or hundreds of languages, different languages. So different cultures we have. So in order to sell one product to all Indians is not possible. If you say that I will sell toothpaste to all Indians, one kind of toothpaste to all 140 crore Indians, it's not possible. If you say I will prepare a car, only one car model, and I will sell that car model to all 140 crore Indians and they'll purchase, it is not possible. If you say that I will manufacture two-wheeler bike or gearless scooter and I will sell to 140 crores Indians, it is not possible. You have to prepare different model as per the requirement and needs of the customers. That's why in India we have lots of varieties of products. They need to identify the market segments they can serve effectively. So we have a huge population of 140 crore. Out of that you have to identify segment, which market segment I can serve. Suppose somebody is good, having good knowledge of Maharashtra, somebody is having good knowledge of Delhi, somebody is having good knowledge of Tamil Nadu. So they can if they identify the needs and the requirements of these customers in that particular geography, then they can go there and sell their product. So most many of the firms you will find they are regional or very they are serving to small area because they understand the needs of that particular area accurately. This decision requires a keen understanding of consumer behavior and careful strategic thinking about what makes each segment unique and different. So you need to know the what kind of behavior consumer is showing. So what he is buying, why he is buying, when he is buying, how frequently he is buying, for what purpose he is buying. You should understand the consumer behavior. Then you should able to understand the unique requirement of their that particular customers. So this decision requires a keen understanding of consumer behavior and careful strategic thinking about what makes each segment unique and different. So if you decide that I will sell particular product in only Mumbai region, so you should able to understand why Mumbai region is unique, why Mumbai customers living in the particular area are different. So suppose somebody is saying that I will only serve microscope to government laboratories. So you should be able to understand why government laboratories are unique, what is their qualities, what characteristic they have, what needs they have, how much budget they have, how what all requirements they have, and how it is different from industrial laboratories, how it is different from academic laboratories. So if you decided to serve the government laboratories only and not the academic laboratories or industrial laboratories, then you should be able to identify uniquely and how different that segment is and from the industrial laboratory, and how and uh, institutional academic laboratory, and how these government laboratories are unique uh, compared to industrial laboratories and academic laboratories. Identifying and uniquely satisfying the right market segments are often the key to market success. So if you identify a right group, so segmentation is identifying segment. You go by the word segment. So here we are identify unique and different segment. So identifying and satisfying the right market segment, identifying right market segment and uniquely satisfying right market segment are the key for the success. I will say the formula to to get the marketing success is identify which segment you are going to cater and uniquely satisfy that particular segment. So suppose McDonald's is serving to those customers, those segment who like burger. Domino's is serving, identify and serving uniquely to those customers who like pizza. So Domino's is identifying and satisfying pizza um, pizza eating customers. Regardless of which type of segmentation scheme we use, the key is adjusting marketing program to recognize customer differences. Regardless of which type of segmentation scheme we use, the key is adjusting the marketing program to recognize customer differences. So when I'm saying to you that we need to identify segmentation for marketing success, what we are doing, we are identifying customer differences. Yes, we are identifying unique segments, unique characteristics of segments. Suppose I'm serving to the Tamil people. If I'm if I am targeting, if I am serving to Bengali people, if I am serving to Gujarati people, I'm uniquely identifying the needs of these Bengali customers or the Tamil customers or Gujarati customers. That is okay. But essentially, what I am doing is I am identifying differences also, how they are different from rest of the Indians or how they are differentiating from general population. So identifying the needs of the customers is one part, and second also you should understand how customers are different from others. So I will talk you. I will speak 1 or 2 minutes on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is the example. LinkedIn is a social media company organization. Also, LinkedIn, how they have segmented well uh, is we have to understand here. So if you know the Facebook is a social media where where we can interact with the other people, but there is no segmentation. But LinkedIn only focus on the professional. So on the Facebook, anybody can join, anybody can interact, anybody can use these services. This is not for any particular service. Small kids can also join, teenager can also open their account. Then those who are unemployed, they can also open their account. Household people, household wives, household people can also open their account. Housewives can also open their account. So even managers, anybody can open their account, but there is no segmentation. But LinkedIn, they have specifically targeted the professionals, and that's why LinkedIn is very successful. They have also come up with their IPO, and this is the first social media which come up with the IPO. And LinkedIn is very successful. It is generating a lot of revenue. It is generating revenue from three kinds of people, three groups of people. First is employer who is going to purchase the subscription of the LinkedIn and get the uh, employees or candidates for their organization. So Infosys, TCS, Tata Motors, they will find employees on the LinkedIn. Second is candidates who are searching for the job. So candidates, suppose BTech, BSc, they are searching for the jobs on the LinkedIn and they can avail the services, paid services, and they can approach the managers, HR people, top management, middle level management of the particular companies like Tata Motors, Wipro, Infosys, Cognizant, Persistent, like that. And third are the advertisers who want to give advertisement on the LinkedIn, who want to give advertisement of their products and services to the professionals on the LinkedIn. So by the three ways LinkedIn is earning money. So LinkedIn is a very successful uh, social media uh, company because it has segmented rightly. Effective target marketing requires that marketers identify and profile distinct groups of the buyers who differ in their needs and wants. Market segmentation. Then, so here we have to identify and profile distinct groups of buyers. Okay, so basically we have um, three strategies by which we can be effective marketers. So first is segmentation, second is targeting, and third is uh, positioning. So in the first segmentation strategy, we have to identify distinct group, we have to profile distinct group which have specific needs. So segmenting, we have to identify what all groups we have in India. So that is segmentation. We identify which are segments in India. Now second, select one or more market segments to enter market, that is market targeting. So in India, if I identify there are 150 different groups are there for the selling two wheelers. So I will not serve 150 groups. I will identify two to three major groups which I can serve better, which whose needs and requirements I can understand and serve accurately or effectively. Third is each target segment establish, communicate, and deliver the right benefit for the company's market offering. So third is positioning. We have to communicate our services, we have to deliver services, we have to establish our organization, our services, our products, service product services, right? So positioning is the third component, third strategy. So segmentation, targeting, and positioning. So here you just understand, we have to in the first strategy we have to identify groups of the customers. Secondly, out suppose we identify 25 groups, so we have to identify which one to target. Out of these 25 we have to target one or two. Third is positioning. We have to whatever group we have selected, within their minds we have to communicate that, we have to advertise to them that we are the best company for them. Basis for segmenting consumer markets. Market segmentation divides a market into well defined slices. So segmentation is defining groups accurately, defining groups effectively, so that we do not have any confusion. A market segment consists of a group of customers who share a similar set of needs and wants. So when we segment, when if we are saying 20, there are 25 groups, so each group will have separate different needs and wants. So no two groups will have similar sets of needs. Totally 25 different groups should have different kinds of needs. Yeah, the difference may be slightly, but there should be difference. So define these 25 groups in the terms of their needs. The marketer's task is to identify the appropriate number and nature of market segments and decide which one to target. Marketer's task is to identify the appropriate number and nature of the market segment and decide which one to target. So we have to identify how many market segments we have, how many number of segments we have, and what is their nature, and which one we are going to target. The major segmentation variables are there are geographical segmentation. We can segment the group by geography. We can segment the group by demography. We can segment the group by psychographics. We can segment the group by behavioral segmentation. So we'll take a example of two wheeler because it is very common example. So by geography we can segment that there are people uh, who are North Indians, who are South Indians, who are East Indians, who are West Indians, who are residing in eastern part, who are residing in western part. But in automobiles there is hardly any difference by the geography. So when geographic segmentation is useful is like your basic needs like food, clothing, and and other needs which are affected by the climate. Suppose in South India, cold drinks are more consumed. In North India, the food which is warm, because the climatic conditions are cold, so warm food products are consumed. Warm clothing materials are used. So by the geography we can segment the market. By demography, by age, by gender, by income, by education, we can segment the market. This is the most common variable by which you can segment the market. Like I will give you an example. Like small children, he would like to eat candy. School going children who would like to eat chocolates, biscuits. Then teenager may would like to eat burgers. Then middle aged people, they would like to go for the healthy foods in hotels, restaurants. uh, and old age people, they may like different set of food material. They may have their own choices. They may like herbal products or medicinal properties of the products, like that. A psychographic segmentation is lifestyle segmentation. Somebody may like somebody who is a teenager, or who is techno savvy, or who is generation Z or generation Y. They may like to eat fast food. Then somebody who is grown in a conservative environment, conservative culture, they may like to have medicinal product, herbal products, then eco-friendly products, vegetarian products. So on the basis of psychographic, basis on the lifestyle also, we can differentiate segment. Then next is behavioral. On the basis of behavior, like usage pattern. Somebody, suppose if you are selling a cigarette, somebody may be a chain smoker, somebody may be occasionally smoking, somebody may be rarely smoking. So for that you need to have different types of segments. So on the usage pattern, also usage frequency, also buying frequency, also you can segment the products. Now geographic segmentation divides the market into geographical units such as nations, states, region, countries, cities, and neighborhoods. Often you have seen the customers are segmented on the basis of states, on the basis of regions, or on the basis of countries, cities, neighborhood, towns, villages. So each city, each state, each region, each countries have different types of products. The company can operate in one or few areas, or it can operate in all, but pay attention to local variation. So some companies may say that we will operate in Mumbai and Pune. Some companies may say that we will operate in NCR region, National Capital Region. So that's how they are segmenting on the basis of geography. Now next we have to understand here grassroots marketing. Now what is grassroots marketing? Marketers concentrate on making such activities as personally relevant to individual customer as possible. So in the process of segmentation, what marketers are doing, marketers are trying to give customized product to individuals, group of products, yes, but ultimately target is to satisfy each and individual customers, or try to customize our products in a such a way that each and every customer or at least group of the customer get satisfied. But uh, if you are concentrating on making it personally relevant, individually relevant, then you are doing grassroots marketing. Suppose I will give you example of Barbie doll. If you have a website, or Barbie doll has a website, and you can select her clothing, you can select eyes color, you can select hairstyle, hair color, skin color, and you can order that doll, and within few days you will receive a car. So individual customization is available, personally relevant you have made the product, and that's called grassroots marketing. Dell also asks you for the configuration, and if you provide the configuration, what kind of a RAM you want, what kind of processor you want, what kind of cabinet you want, what kind of motherboard you want, what kind of monitor you want, what kind of operating system you want, what kind of mouse you want, then they are customizing. So it's called grassroots marketing. There are so many examples, like if there is a CD, if there is music company, and whatever songs you like, you have to select those 100 200 songs, and you have to tell them that you have to select on their website, and they will prepare a CD and they will send to you. So this is individual customization, it is called grassroots marketing. Now Nike, Citibank, Starbucks, Costco, Trader Joe's, and REI are focusing on local marketing initiatives. Nike is focusing on the athletes in India, athletes in Maharashtra, athletes in Mumbai. So they are doing local marketing initiative. The marketing campaigns are different for India, different for the Indian athlete, different for Maharashtrian athlete, different for Mumbai athletes. Now Citibank, in each region they have customized products. Suppose in Mumbai, Pune, Nashik, Nagpur, they have different kinds of there's financial services. Their interest rate might change, their terms and conditions might change depending on the local needs and requirement. Starbucks, then Domino's, then KFC, and McDonald, they are serving different sets of products in different countries, in different cities. So it's called local marketing initiatives. Now regional marketing means marketing right down to specific zip code. So we take zip code is very good for uh, identifying geographical segmentations, because each and every village, each and every ward, each and every small area has a specific zip code. So zip code, you for specific zip code you can relate to specific needs, and you can do segmentation. So zip code or pin in India is uh, very important as far as geographic segmentation is concerned. Also it is used in other countries like US and European countries and other countries where marketers are using geographical segmentation. Many companies use mapping software to pinpoint the geographic locations of their customers, learning say the customers. So there are some now the evolution of IT, information technology. Now we have mapping software where we can identify which geography location will have different separate sort of requirements and needs. Learning say that most customers are within the 10-mile radius of the store and are further concentrated within Z plus 4 areas. Suppose uh, in Pune, the pin number or zip code is 411001. So and there is a one particular shop who is selling cake and bakery items. So their customer will most of the customer there lie in the 10 miles radius of the store or around the 4 zip plus areas, 411001, 411002, 411003, 411004. So in these four villages, four wards, four areas or pin numbers or the zip code, there most of the customer will lie, and that distance will be of 10 mile. Now customer cloning. What is customer cloning? Assuming that the best prospects live where the most of the customers already come from. So just I said the 411001 is the pin code of Shivaji Nagar, so Pune, and so nearby in the Shivaji Nagar you will find most of the similar kind of customers of that cake manufacturing company or that cake and bakery shop. Some approaches combine geographic data with demographic data to yield even richer description of the customers and neighborhoods. So if you combine geographic area plus demographic area, suppose in Shivaji Nagar, the teenager like the that particular kind of cake. Suppose you are preparing black forest cake, chocolate cake, and you found that most of the customer, your shop is in Shivaji Nagar and Shivaji Nagar Pune, and most of the customers are living nearby area. So again you have to identify, are they male, are they educated, are they what is their income, they have income of more than 5 lakhs per year, and they are teenager. So this, if you combine geographic data plus demographic data, then you will have more understanding of your segment, and you will be more successful in selling that product. Now Nelson Claritas has developed a geo-clustering approach called Prism, potential rating index by zip market, NE, that classifies more than 50 lakh citizens of US. So Nelson Claritas has come up with the Prism, potential rating index by zip market. So they have developed one strategy, one process, one method by which they can classify 50 lakhs of Americans residential neighborhoods into 14 distinct groups and 16 distinct lifestyle segment called Prism cluster. So what they have done, this Prism people have identified 14 groups and 16 lifestyles, and they have prepared this Prism cluster by basically what is Prism is they have studied 50 lakhs people, and they have grouped into by their lifestyle and by their geography. So this is called Prism style of segmenting customers, and it is similar to geographical segmentation, or it is a good example of geographical segmentation. Three, the grouping take into consideration 39 factors in 5 broad categories. So what they have used is education and affluence, family life cycle, urbanization, race and ethnicity, and mobility. So while defining these clusters, Prism clusters, they have used this education, family life cycle, urbanization, race, ethnicity, and mobility. The inhabitants in a cluster tend to lead similar lives, drive similar cars, have similar jobs, and read similar magazines. So if you say if you take the example of Pune, so if you see the Koregaon Park area is a very good area, very posh area, very high-fi area, very rich class people area. So you will find people live similar lives, live similar cars, drive similar cars, have similar jobs, and read similar magazines. So if you take the example of Mumbai, in Mumbai there is an area called there is a very big slum area. So that slum may have will have similar similar needs and requirements of the people. They might living similar lives, they might be having similar jobs, they might be reading similar newspaper. So we can use this uh, geographical segmentation for selling such type of products. Now they have defined these groups like young dig- digerati. Young digerati are the nation's tech-savvy singles and couples having living in fashionable neighborhoods on the urban fringe, affluent, highly educated, and ethnically mixed. They live in areas typically filled with the trendy apartment and condos, fitness clubs, and clothing boutiques, casual restaurants, and all type of bars from juice to coffee to microbrew. So so uh, when these prism cluster these people who are classifying using this prism geographical segmentation, when they identified different groups, they named different groups. So they have identified one particular group and they have given this name young dignity. And you will find people having highly educated, their qualities are they are highly educated, they like to be mixed with the different ethnicity, they lives in a trendy apartment, they go like to go to the fitness club, they like to go to the clothing boutiques, they like to go to the casual restaurants. So they like to drink juices, they like to drink coffee, they like to drink microbrews. So this type of group we have, it's called young dignity. So their all details where they are living, where how they are scattered is all the information we have in this prism clustering. Then beltway boomers, one segment of the huge boomers cohort, college, they are college educated, upper middle class, home owning is beltway boomers. Like many of their peers who married late, these boomers are still raising children in comfortable suburban subdivisions and pursuing kid-centered lifestyle. So this is second example, second group, second segment in Prism. Next group is cosmopolitan. These are the in this segment we have educated, mid-scale, multi-ethnic people. Then the cosmopolitans are urban couples in America's fast-growing cities, concentrated in handful of metros such as Las Vegas, Miami, and Albuquerque. These household feature older homeowners, empty nesters, college graduates. Which neighborhoods or zip codes contain our most valuable customers? So as a marketer, you should know where our customers are residing, living, staying. How deeply have we already penetrated these segments? So if our if our customers are living in Shivaji Nagar, Swargate areas, and Pimpri Chinchwad areas, so are we penetrated these areas? How much penetration is there? How much we could develop this market? How efficiently we have reached this market, or we haven't reached? Which distribution channels and promotional media work best is reaching our target cluster in each area? Which distribution channels we should use? Which promotional media we should use to reach this area? Marketing to micro segment has become possible even for a small organization as database costs decline. Marketing to micro segments has become possible even for a small organization as database costs decline. Software becomes easier to use and data integration increases. So nowadays, even small organizations are also using these geographic segmentation, because database cost is less. So we have different software to help, and data integration has also increased. Now I'll give you example of Yelp. Yelp.com is a company which is uh, we started with collecting reviews from the people for different restaurants, hotels, and different shops. So people used to go to their website and write reviews for the restaurants, for the services, for the products, and people used to refer before buying, purchasing, using these services. So with this, Yelp is earning lot of money. So this is how segmentation can be done. This is how segmentation is important. Until and unless we understand the groups to help them, we cannot able to sell our product. Now Yelp identify there is a requirement of the customers. There is a requirement of a website where people can come together and write review. So Yelp knew that there is a need of the customer to get authentic platform where they can check the performance of the products and performance of the service. So Yelp has identified their customer, their segment wisely, accurately. That's why they could able to start services like Yelp.com. But we are talking about the local advertisement, then micro level local segmentation, then local promotion, local advertisement. But many companies which are selling their product selling their product, they have to give advertisement nationally. But the people who are selling their products in a specific region, suppose in Koregaon Park area of the Pune, if they are selling their product, if in Shivaji Nagar they are selling their product, in if suppose in Andheri area, in Borivali area they are selling their product, in the other area somebody is selling their product. So they see national advertisement is wastage. So those who are serving to particular small geography, national advertisement is not for them. Even those many companies, they give national advertisement and they may not be effective. Now next is demographic segmentation, but we'll stop here. We'll cover demographic segmentation in next video. Thank you so much for watching this video.